Hey there, everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are in the world. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to wherever you're watching this from. So, this is just going to be a short message pertaining to the topic of doing what you want, specifically in terms of career paths, in terms of dreams you want to pursue, in terms of a certain passion you want to embark on, in terms of a journey or path you want to take on life, which is quite far from the norm or quite difficult compared to others. You know, I would say that if you're pursuing anything, but it is what you want, there are going to be difficulties, even if it's a job in the norm or the usual popularity that people do or the ones that are in demand. It's going to be difficult because there are things that you're going to have to overcome. There are things that you're going to have to do that you don't want to. There are routines that you're going to have to deal with on a daily basis, in and out, day in and day out. There are sacrifices you're gonna have to make. There are choices you're gonna have to make that are quite difficult. And there's, of course, that over lingering sense of doubt inside your head, questioning and constantly yapping at you, especially that inner voice of yours, which I believe that all of us have. I know I do. It's quite loud most of the time, and it's, I would say, your inner critique. It constantly talks to you, it constantly asks you questions pertaining to whether what you're currently doing is actually worth it, or what you're currently doing is actually what you want out of life, or if what you're currently doing is going to get you anywhere in life. It's normal to have those feelings, especially if you're not in a certain field or not in a certain atmosphere at work or in an environment where you feel like you're going to end up somewhere, you're going to grow and become something. Because, of course, I do believe that we were all put on this earth for a reason. I mean, yeah, there's 7 billion plus people in the world, but the chances of you being born is like 1 in a million. So the fact that you were placed on this earth healthy, happy, despite whatever defects or illnesses that we all have, you were placed on this earth, you're alive, you're here. So it's normal to think that, is this all of there is of life, just a repetitive cycle where you go to work, come back home, eat, sleep, clean, do chores, all of that. Yeah, it's normal to think about that. And yeah, maybe that is all that life is, but at the end of the day, that is what our life will be if that's all we choose to do. We have a daily routine. Everybody has a daily routine. And it's only when we decide to add something to that daily routine, then it becomes somewhat enjoyable or somewhat meaningful, perhaps. A hobby you want to pursue, a person or relationship you got into, certain things, or just adding another thing on the agenda that you need to do for the day. Something that you enjoy, something that is painful, for example. Most people prefer going to the gym after a hard working, after a stressful day, or at the beginning of the day, just to start off with like a clean mind to clear off their thoughts, their emotions, so on. Or some people enjoy doing their hobbies at the end of the day to relieve their stress. So it's all about finding that thing, that one thing for you to do that will make even the most mundane days, even the most, uh, you know, repetitive or stressful days a little bit more meaningful and a little bit more bearable for you to be able to wake up the next day and be like, okay, it's gonna be hard, but at least I have that one thing to look forward to. So yeah, it's ultimately giving yourself a sense of purpose when life is just treating you or giving you repetitive cycles to go through. And ultimately, at some point, you're going to be thinking, why can't I be doing this full time? Why can't I be doing this 24/7 instead of, doing the thing that is currently draining me mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, whatever. But yeah, but then again, pursuit of one's dream, pursuit of one's endeavors have certain sacrifices, uh, certain things they have to do, certain choices they have to make, certain decisions they have to make, which can be quite difficult, quite unreasonable, and it's it's difficult in all aspects. So in terms of that, I would say that just to encourage you in terms of this message is to really dig down deep and decide whether the choice you're making is worth it. Is it worth the time? Is it worth the sacrifice? Is it worth the efforts? Is it worth whatever you're doing? Is it worth you know, the days where you can't sleep? Is it worth all of that? That's what I wanted to say. For questions that you possibly might ask when you question yourself and question the thing that you're doing, and have that doubt lingering voice in your head get loud. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say for this. Just ask yourself those questions. Is it really worth your time? Is it really worth the effort? Is it really worth the sacrifice? At the end of the day, is it really something you love to do? If you tick all those boxes, then yeah, go for it with full effort, and eventually, maybe not now, maybe not in a few years, maybe it can take a few decades, but at the end of the day, if it's something that you love to do, and something you're passionate about, and something that gives meaning to your life, then I would say go for it with a full 100%, and eventually things will happen. If not, at least it's something you wanted, right? Well, that's all for this talk, guys. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much for this short message. Hope you have a great day.